And it wouldn't be a very interesting fight if he wasn't training his best and believed he was going to win. And it wouldn't be a very interesting fight unless he was on Twitter running his mouth and trying to self-hypnotize himself that he's going to win. And sitting there and talking and endlessly talking about how he's going to definitely win and he has nothing to worry about and I'm old and I'm coming back and all this crap. That's what makes the fight interesting. So I'm very glad he's doing that as opposed to saying nothing. It's good for the brand. It's good for the video when I win. It's good for everything. So I'm very, very excited for the event.
Okay. So Andrew Tate has been out here making this absolutely insane guarantee, and he's been shouting it from every rooftop he can find. The man is dead certain that Chase DeMoor won't make it past those first few minutes when they finally clash. We're talking about a prediction so bold it's basically putting his entire reputation on the line. Tate genuinely thinks this finish will shut up everyone who's been wondering if he's still got what it takes, or if this whole comeback thing is just smoke and mirrors. He's betting everything on the idea that this fight ends before most people even settle into their seats.
After I knock you out, can I get a free membership to the real world?
I don't think you're going to knock me out, Chase. And truthfully, and I state this with respect for you, going in there believing you're going to knock me out easily is the biggest mistake you're ever going to make in life. I promise you that. I promise you. Don't think you're going to get in there and just knock me out easy like I'm a fucking idiot. Like I'm going to go in there and I've made some mistake and I've just signed a contract and haven't taken this seriously. I'm not a fucking idiot, Chase. You understand me? So I think you should take this a lot more seriously, have a little bit more respect for me. I'm now your boss. I respect you as an opponent. I respect you as an athlete. And don't be walking through life saying, I'm going to knock Andrew out like it's nothing. Because it's not going to happen like you think it is.
Now, here's what makes this whole thing even crazier. Tate is jumping back into official competition after a 5-year gap. And that's not exactly a quick vacation we're discussing. His last real fight was kickboxing against Cosman Linger, and since then he's been doing literally everything except stepping into a sanctioned ring. Most fighters coming back from that kind of break would ease in with some easier matchup to knock the rust off. But Tate, he's diving straight into the chaos by picking the Misfits platform for what he hopes becomes this epic comeback story that reminds everyone why his name matters. His opponent Chase DeMoor has been living on a completely different schedule, though. As the current heavyweight king in the Misfits world, DeMoor hasn't been sitting around waiting. He's been grinding, constantly staying razor sharp with 6 fights in just the past 12 months. And these weren't going the distance either. His last victim, Evan Singarag, got dropped in round 1. Most fighters with that kind of role would let their work do the talking, maybe play it cool and confident. But DeMoor went the total opposite way, bringing massive energy, trash talk, and online drama to this entire build-up. For someone Tate loves calling just another rich kid playing tough guy, DeMoor has been making serious waves and staying right in the center of this rivalry.
Go out there and get hit a couple times.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think Andrew Tate hasn't fought in a long time, but I think his technique and background and his ability, like he's a good striker. I think that he beats Chase DeMoor.
Yeah, I think his sparring videos have showed me like his aggression level and that he's going to go out there and enjoy being in the starlight of just the lights and he's the CEO and like he's fighting. Yeah. I think he's going to do good. And I'm not going to lie, I've seen Chase DeMoor look absolutely horrible in the ring.
Before this fight even got rolling officially, DeMoor was already working overtime to mess with Tate's head, or at least attempting to. He started floating this idea that Tate might be dealing with some secret training injuries, and that rumor took off like crazy among fans who were already picking apart every single detail. The speculation gained real steam because Tate appeared in recent training clips with a pretty obvious black eye from sparring, which gave DeMoor's theory some credibility. Suddenly, everyone was questioning if there was something Tate wasn't sharing with the public. But Tate just laughed off all the speculation, treating it like background static that he's handled his whole career. He's been crystal clear that he sees himself as the one actually taking the bigger gamble in this matchup. The way he looks at it, DeMoor is walking into the biggest break of his fighting life, the kind of moment that could shoot him into a whole different level of fame and money. Meanwhile, Tate views himself as risking a reputation he spent years building. From his angle, every attempt DeMoor makes to paint him as old, beaten down, or past his prime are just excuses being set up by people who already think he's going to lose. He sees this entire build-up as one massive test specifically designed to check if he can still perform at an elite level after years away from real competition. And honestly, Tate doesn't just seem ready for that challenge, he appears genuinely hungry for it. Those training clips show exactly what we're dealing with.
I've seen the pads, I've seen all of that. I just don't think you're a phenomenal enough athlete anymore to step in the ring with somebody like me.
Then why are you still nervous?
His whole approach during this build-up has stayed the same. The guy feeds off pressure, whether it's in combat, outside the ring, in legal battles, or media wars, wherever the heat comes from. He's constantly reminded everyone, including fans, critics, and DeMar, that he survived worse opponents and bigger problems throughout his journey, and he's still here. That rock-solid confidence has just poured more gasoline on a rivalry that already felt intensely personal before they even put pen to paper. When DeMar and Tate finally came face-to-face at what you could only call a wild press event in Dubai, the energy was electric long before they actually stood nose to nose. Tate didn't just show up like any regular fighter. He rolled up fashionably late in the most over-the-top way possible, cruising in on some luxury yacht while cameras captured every moment of his grand entrance. Pure showmanship, the kind of arrival that dictates everything that happens next, and boy did it deliver. That entrance set the mood for the entire event, where both men launched insults, flexed, postured, and got right in each other's faces without actually throwing hands. But you could feel that tension was absolutely real even through a screen.
I don't mean to cut you off, champ, but I am now seeing and hearing in the water, headed this way, is the top G, Andrew Tate.
Listen, the yacht can't fight for you either. Get over here, Tate. Bring your little ass.
I mean, champ, you have to know this is mind games. He's flexing on you right now. He's the top G. You're in his city. He's bringing a boat to the press conference, making you wait on him. I got to ask you, do you feel disrespected by any of this? You're the champ here.
That guy looks like Tarzan, fights like Jane. I ain't worried about him. He's using the boat to try to intimidate me, but listen, the boat's not in the ring with him. He's still got to get punched in the face.
You got to admit, though, it's a pretty nice boat.
Listen, I showed up in a 2004 Honda Civic. Doesn't matter. I'm still going to pack him in. That man's showing up on boats because this is his main event. He can win the entrances. He can win the money flex. He can win all that. This belt right here, he cannot win.
Hey, by the way, you can take a look behind you. There he is. What do you think of the fit?
Man, Zara must be treating that guy nice. Where'd he get that chain? Goodwill?
What really caught everyone's attention during that face-off, and what fans immediately started dissecting all over social media, was DeMar's obvious size advantage. He looked taller, wider, more physically dominant, and that difference became this huge discussion point after the confrontation ended. People began wondering if Tate had gotten himself into something he couldn't handle by agreeing to fight someone who clearly had the physical edge. But here's where it gets interesting. Tate's longtime coach, Amir, isn't worried even slightly about the size difference, and he's been pretty vocal explaining why. He says DeMar might have appeared taller during that stare-down, but some of that could come down to shoe choices, or how they were standing in that specific moment. Even if there's a real measurable gap when they're both barefoot, Amir believes it won't matter once that bell sounds and the actual fighting begins. His perspective is that knockout power doesn't just come from size or height. It's built on speed, timing technique, and generating force through proper form. Plus, he's convinced that Tate is extremely hard to hit cleanly because of his footwork, defensive skills, and fight intelligence. Amir also explained that the black eye everyone was panicking about is completely normal in their training environment. Their sessions involve serious high-level pad work and sparring that regularly leaves visible damage on both Tate and whoever he's working with. As far as Amir sees it, that black eye isn't evidence of weakness, injury, or decline. It's actually proof of the intensity and preparation happening behind the scenes, the kind of serious work that doesn't make it into social media highlights. It was the first time fans got to see these fighters measure up against each other in person, and it definitely cranked up the anticipation.
First time, Chase, what did you see when you looked across?
I saw a guy that bit off more than he can chew. I think he didn't realize the scope of what he was getting into. I've fought in Giants and Kells. I've fought in experienced kickboxers in Tank Tolman, and they've all ended the same. He has nothing that I've not seen before. In fact, he's actually probably the smallest guy I've fought. We don't look at size. We don't look at technique. We don't look at anything. The only thing I look at is, can he punch? Can he take a punch? I've seen him quit in his fights. I've seen him get punched. I've seen him have eye problem, black eyes against guys like Fez Batista and Warren Spencer. Those guys aren't getting the job done. And I think that the guys that I train with, the guys that I spar with, the camp that I've had, I was so confident going into it that I knew I was going to win that fight as soon as they sent me the contract that he signed it. I could not believe it myself.
Tate has been approaching this entire training camp with the intensity you'd expect from someone returning to prove something massive. At 39, he's not exactly a young gun anymore, but he's got years of professional kickboxing expertise backing him up. He's made damn sure that his move into boxing gets taken seriously by everyone involved. Since moving from Romania to the United Arab Emirates, he's built his whole preparation base in Dubai, using that change of location and atmosphere to lock in completely on the fight without any outside noise. The constant updates he shares from camp show him looking like he's in absolute peak condition, ripped, focused, and moving with serious intent. That black eye became almost like a badge of honor, a visible reminder to fans and doubters that he's not approaching this as some casual celebrity boxing show or exhibition match. This represents a real fight in his eyes, and he's training like everything depends on the outcome, because honestly, it kind of does. The stakes couldn't be higher for his reputation.
In my DMs, this new generation of people don't understand the lines. Karma is real. Wishing genuine harm on people or insulting people's coaches or doing these terribly things.
Your coach is about a
You end up paying the price. And we're going to see on the night.
fraud.
I promise you, continue to disrespect me. Unfortunately for you, you're not going to have a career after.
I'm the heavyweight champion. I do what I want. You do what I say.
While Tate has maintained his image as the experienced warrior diving into dangerous waters to prove he's still elite, DeMoor has been just as busy dragging this rivalry into seriously personal territory. And he's been calculated about it too. One of the biggest moments that exploded online came from a viral post showing DeMoor spending time with Bryce Stern, an influencer who everyone knows had romantic history with Tate. The post carried this flirty, suggestive vibe and came with alleged screenshots suggesting she was having a great time with DeMoor. Even though nothing got confirmed directly and both sides stayed somewhat mysterious about details, the message came through loud and clear. DeMoor wanted Tate to notice. He wanted the internet buzzing, and he wanted everyone discussing it. Those photos went viral, immediately generating reactions from fans who instantly understood exactly why that content was created and shared that way. Pure psychological warfare, nothing else. Another element that grabbed major attention involved Side Kickboxing, a brand that backed Tate during his early kickboxing days, long before fame, wealth, controversy, and worldwide recognition became part of his story. Tate has publicly credited the company for supporting him when he was still climbing the ladder, building his reputation. So when fans started spotting Sidekick interacting with DeMoor during this build-up, engaging with his posts, and appearing to back his side of the rivalry, plenty of people found the timing pretty ironic. It threw another psychological wrinkle into a fight already overflowing with tension, personal attacks, and mental warfare.
My only question for you is, Andrew, is why did you want 6 rounds and not agree to the 10? Because you don't have the gas tank. Why did you want a weight clause? Because you're not big enough. You're not strong enough. Why do you want your venue, your city, your everything? Why are these the questions that nobody's asking you? We all know the answer to them. We just don't want to say it because you're surrounded by a bunch of yes men.
Beyond all the drama trash talking, in social media games, some legitimate questions have come up about the actual terms of this fight, and DeMoor has been the one raising them. He's repeatedly claimed that Tate leveraged his connections, his pull, and his position within the organization to structure the fight contract in ways that benefit him. The match gets promoted to fans as a heavyweight bout, which normally means fighters can weigh in at anything up to around 265 pounds in boxing. But according to DeMoor, the contract actually limits both guys to 200 pounds, which essentially turns this into more of a cruiserweight battle than a real heavyweight war. He's also mentioned an alleged rehydration restriction, meaning they can't put too much weight back on after the official weigh-in, plus a bunch of other details he believes were arranged specifically to match Tate's strengths and preferences. According to DeMoor, everything from glove selection to judging criteria and even the officials running the show appears tilted toward Tate's advantage. He even said he was pushed to use house equipment, meaning gloves supplied by the promotion instead of being allowed his own gear that he knows and trusts. Those kinds of specifics can really impact a fighter's performance, and DeMoor has made sure people understand what he's dealing with. But here's the thing. Despite all these issues, all these supposed disadvantages, DeMoor accepted every single condition without fighting back, and he did it for one clear reason. He wanted this fight. He wanted the opportunity to face Tate so badly that he was ready to accept terms he felt were designed to hurt his chances. For him, getting in there matters more than the circumstances around it. He's built his whole Misfits reputation on walking into fights as the underdog, absorbing the doubts, and then finishing guys early when the action starts. In his mind, this situation is just another version of that same story, and he's convinced he can beat whatever obstacles get thrown his way.
When you're a fighter, you want to fight. So it doesn't have to make logical sense. It doesn't have to be something that
You're not a
you have
fighter.
to sit there and say, how much am I going to get paid? Is it worth it? Fighters want to fight. I've been fighting my whole life,
You're a victim.
and I'm excited to get back in there and do it again. It's all I've ever done.
Chase, you don't believe him. You don't believe that's why.
The only thing he's ever fought is his hairline, man. Like, he's not fought anybody tough. You were 4-3 in light heavyweight. What makes you think you can just hop in the heavyweight division and go fight the champ? You should have thought it was somebody easier, buddy. I'm not the one.
Why do you
What do you think happens when I step in there with you, Chase? Just wait and see. Meanwhile, Tate's new role within the Misfits organization has become this major discussion point that nobody can ignore. After some changes in the promotion's leadership, Tate got introduced as the Combat Executive Officer, a position that gives him real say over company decisions from fight booking to event planning. That announcement completely changed how people look at this upcoming fight because now everyone's questioning whether his new job could directly or indirectly influence how the event gets handled, how rules get enforced, and if there's any conflict of interest brewing. Whether that power actually changes anything on fight night remains to be seen, but just the perception has added more ammunition to DeMoor's complaints about contract fairness and level playing fields. It's given his accusations more credibility with fans who were already suspicious about the whole setup. This injury situation could have seriously hurt you.
I am the guy that's coming to put you away for good.
just like this? Although I am going to beat you, from the bottom of my heart, all bullshit aside, all bravado aside, even though you just threatened a man with 4 children with brain damage, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, hope you get up and you're perfectly good at it. That's what I hope.
I hope you wake up in the hospital.
Well, that's the difference in our characters, and we're going to see which one God rewards.
Well, yeah.
Let me be real about the character question here, but let's just address the obvious. Everyone in Tate's circle has been vocal confident and absolutely certain that he's going to completely dominate this fight. Snecko, a regular collaborator and tight friend of Tate's, has been adamant that this fight will be totally one-sided. He's argued that Tate rarely ever accepts challenges unless he's completely sure the situation favors him and he has the tools to win convincingly. Snecko made it clear he doesn't have personal beef with DeMoor and isn't trying to disrespect him as an individual, but he genuinely believes Tate will handle him without breaking a sweat. From his perspective, Tate is going to cruise through this matchup, making it look almost effortless.
Andrew Tate is back. Back on Misfits, he's fighting.
He's the CEO apparently. It seems like they're trying to set something up with KSI in the future, so yeah, that's cool to see that.
You still call Tate? Do you still speak to him? I know you had a relationship earlier, I think it was like 2023, you were kind of hanging out with him.
It sounded a little gay.
No, not relationship, but like friendship.
No, we were never friends. I mean, I knew him a little bit, but no, it is what it is. He's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing.
Does he beat Chase DeMoor?
I think he does crush him. I think it's an easy fight for him. I like Chase. I want Chase to do well, but overall, I don't think Andrew Tate would take a fight that he wouldn't be guaranteed almost to win.
Being Ross is another guy close to Tate, who shared that same confidence, but pushed it even further by stressing that Tate's edge isn't just physical or technical. It runs much deeper psychologically. Ross views Tate's mentality, his discipline, his mental strength, and his extensive combat background as advantages that are just too massive to ignore or minimize. He thinks that no matter how busy DeMoor has been this past year, no matter how many fights he's stacked up, or how confident he sounds in interviews and social media, he just can't bridge the experience gap between himself and someone like Tate, who's been proven at the highest levels. Ross even hinted at possibly showing up to the event himself, especially if other big names from the crossover boxing and influencer world appear, which could turn the whole night into this massive spectacle that goes way beyond just the fight. It might become a genuine cultural event.
Chase DeMoor?
Obviously. I mean, it's not going to even be close. I heard, I don't know if we can put this in there, but Chibu was fucking up Chase DeMoor in a spar, and that's crazy. And by the way, Chibu's an excellent fighter. Don't get it fucked up now, but that's fucking crazy. So, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be close. I mean, at all. Andrew's obviously going to finish him. And then hopefully we see Andrew fight KSI next. That's the one that everyone wants to see, for sure.
Be good. Would you go to that?
I'll pull up to that one.
You will come.
I'll go to that one. It'll probably be what? Dubai, probably? Yeah. I'll go to that. If they fight, I'll pull up to that for sure. That'd be a good one.
You went to Dubai to meet him before, didn't you?
I've been to Dubai. The first time. That's right. Mm-hmm. I was in Dubai a few years back, so I'll definitely pull back up again for sure. I would love to. Mam's invited me to this fight next month, but again, we'll we're not gonna, I'm not gonna go to that one, but I'll definitely go to one for sure eventually.
As we get closer to fight night, both fighters keep adding fresh drama to what's already become one of the most intense rivalries in crossover boxing history. Tate needs to prove without question that he still possesses the skill, the heart, the precision, and the finishing ability that made his kickboxing career legendary and earned him real championships. This goes beyond just winning for him. It's about justifying his return and showing the world he's not just hype. DeMoor wants to demonstrate that his recent success, his confidence, and his willingness to take big risks can handle the pressure of a worldwide stage and the spotlight that comes with facing someone as controversial and famous as Andrew Tate. With the mental games getting more intense each day, personal shots flying constantly on social media, and legitimate concerns about contract fairness still hanging over everything, the excitement around this Dubai showdown has grown into something that feels much bigger than just misfits boxing. It's become a genuine spectacle. What goes down on December 20th will decide whether Tate's bold, confident prediction of a first-round finish becomes reality and makes his comeback absolutely legendary. Or if DeMoor channels all that chaos, all that motivation, all that underdog spirit, and every bit of momentum he's collected to shock everyone in a way nobody could predict. Until that opening bell rings and all the talking finally stops, both men stay locked in a mental war that's almost as fierce, almost as brutal, and almost as intense as whatever's waiting for them once they step between those ropes.